Today I am going to try to draw and color a dinosaur head. So when we finish, this is what it should look like. Let's go ahead and get started. I am going to start by using a pencil and very lightly going over my design or what I plan on drawing. I'm going to start off by drawing the head. And I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to put about three fingers about right here and about 4 fingers on this side. And I'm just going to make a curved line starting from about here and coming back. I missed that mark, but that's all right. I decided to make it a little bit longer or bigger and then just kind of curve all the way down. That is going to be the head. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw the eye so you can kind of see where this is going to be. The eye is going to be, you put about 2 fingers right here, and you're going to start here, and you're going to come above this line and make a curve. Now at this point I'm going to erase this line right here. And when you do this, try not to use a lot of pressure on your pencil. I'm using a lot of pressure so that the line will actually be dark and you will actually be able to see it. So I'm going to come back this way, and I think I'm going to make this part a little longer. I'm just going to come back down a little bit longer. Then I'm going to come in almost all the way, leave about 4 fingers here, and all the way to almost to the edge. I'm going to come in like this, and then come down about the same length as this side. Then I'm going to turn this back around and come back up like this. Then this is going to be his head. Then I'm going to make his shoulder or his back, and I'm going to start right here where his jaw is and just make a curved line. Then I'm going to make the other side of his body like a shoulder and just curve that down like this. Now I'm going to work on his face. I'm going to make his eye, and it's just an oval right about here. I'm going to give it a lid, and then his dinosaur eye is going to have a long curved center part right here. His iris or his pupil. His pupil will be black. This would be his pupil. Then I'm going to give him or her or it, whatever it is, a line right about here to kind of show a crease, and then his nostril will be right about here. And you can kind of see where this is taking shape. Now we're going to give him some teeth, and you're just going to draw pointy shapes almost all the way back, almost. So I'm going to stop about right there. Then I'm going to do the bottom ones the same way and stop about the same place. Then I'm going to close that side of his mouth. I'm going to put a curved line right here, and then I'm going to curve some more, close it some more. So start right here and make a C shape like this. And okay, so that's pretty much that part. Oh, I need to make, let's see, we need to shape his chest. Do a wavy line about like that. And then let's add some, he's got some pointy things down here. I don't know what these are. Spines, I guess. And then we're going to do the landscape. So I'm going to start about right here. I'm just kind of draw a line straight and then pretend it goes behind him, and then draw another line this way. Now I'm going to draw some bushes in the background, and some on this side. And that is pretty much all we do to the drawing. It's actually pretty simple. The next step I'm going to do is trace all of the pencil marks with a Sharpie. Trying to stay on the pencil mark. But if I don't and I miss it a little bit, it will be okay, because since it is a pencil mark and the Sharpie is permanent, I can just erase it and it'll be fine. So I'm going to quickly trace over all of my pencil lines. Now this is not a complete dinosaur. This is just his head, and he is looking to the right. Okay, so there's his eye, and this is his pupil, and it's black, completely black. And then his hair or spines, whatever he has down here, and then the other bush. There's not a lot of detail to this. The detail is going to come in your coloring. Let's see. Now I'm going to erase some of these pencil marks where I missed some of the pencil marks with the marker. Oh, and I missed this line right here. Now, once you get that done, you can pretty much color this any color you want. I colored the dinosaur's body black with some gray and some brown. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I did. So I started out, when you color with colored pencils, it's a little bit different than when you're coloring with markers. You want to go in one direction and find whatever direction works best for you. Now I've just got my pencil slightly slanted, and then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. And when I do this, it fills in a lot of those tiny little places that were left behind. So you can do this, and what I did was I colored most of the edges a little bit darker. And then as I got closer into his face, I colored in a little bit lighter. And then I colored a little bit darker around his eye. And I mixed a lot of the colors together. For example, this is black that I'm using, and then I switched over to gray and filled some of this in with gray, just to kind of give it a different look. I'm not going to color all of this so that you can, this video doesn't get really long. I did use a little bit of brown to color this, his spikes back here. And then I mixed it in with a little bit of black so that it wouldn't be so brown. I did the same thing with his chest, and then the rest of his body was black. Then I used a very light yellow, or mustard looking color. I got these colored pencils. There's 48 of them. I picked these up at Hobby Lobby, and they were in the clearance section for $3, which was pretty good, and it has a whole lot of different colors. So I'm using this yellow mustard looking color, doesn't have a name. And I used it lightly to color his teeth because you don't want to have his teeth be completely white. You know, they don't really brush their teeth. Or maybe they do. I don't know. Never met a dinosaur. And his eye, I colored it a brighter yellow, closer to his pupil. And then faded out with the lighter or the more mustardy yellow. So it wouldn't look like highlighter. So, and then I decided to color in the bushes a shade of, this is kind of a rust color, but if you don't have one, maybe a red would work. And again, I started off in one direction, and it kind of picks up a lot of the grain of the paper, And then if you color in the opposite direction, it fills in all of those little places that the first pass did not get. And one of the things that I like to do is when I'm coloring, I like to really press a little harder along the edges and make those darker. And this is just something I like to do. I mean, you certainly don't have to. You can color it any way you want. And I just think it looks a little bit neater when some of the edges are a little bit darker than the rest of the area that you're coloring. So I'm not going to finish that. I'm going to show you the finished product in just a little bit so you can try this on your own. But this is basically the design. Now, this is the one I just finished earlier. And let me zoom in. You can see the face that I colored a lot darker around the edges. There's the eye. You can barely see the brownish yellowy color on the edges. And then there's a little bit of yellow mixed in here. The inside of his mouth, it's dark around the edges and then a little bit lighter on near the center part. You can see up here that I colored it kind of a red color and added a little bit of black to the edges. The area around his eye is pretty dark, and around his nose is pretty dark. His teeth are a light yellow color. And then if you look at his chest, it's gray and has a little bit of brown. And then the bushes are just a reddish color, and the edges are a little bit darker. The sky is just blue. There's not a lot of detail in the sky. And then the grass is just green. Let me back up so you can see the whole thing. All right. So there it is. And you can color this way, or you can color it using any colors that you like. This is your drawing. But if you do make this and you'd like to share it with us, bring it to class. I would love to see how you did. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.